Blackout heralds Monday's workers' strike in Kaduna. President Buhari arrived France for moves to revive African economy. Oil prices stable on confidence in demand recovery. Plus, Business Express today takes a look at participation of women in AFCFTA towards economic recovery and growth of Africa. The program is Business Express, reaching you from Abuja, Nigeria's capital. I am Musa Abubakar. With industrial action, the strike by Nigerian Labour Congress over workers' sack in Kaduna State takes its toll on the people, with electricity supply disruption and low in social and economic activities. Abdullahi Suleiman Rigachikong has an update.
Hours to the commencement of the strike, in compliance with the directive by organized labor, electricity employees knocked down the 33 kVA transmission line of power, resulting in power outage in Kaduna metropolis and environs. Well, here we are at Kabala Costin, one of the densely populated areas in Kaduna metropolis, and we have been speaking to many people on their experience on this power outage that the city has started experiencing. And standing with me to shed more light on this experience is Muhammad Tahir. Sir, how has the situation been?
We are definitely frustrated because most of us, you can see, we are outside, there is no light. Those who have access to refrigerators, all their food stock have been perished.
Around account 7, then they take off the light. Up till now, no light.
The effect of shutdown by NLC is not only on power outage, it is also taking its toll on filling stations, where we have seen long queues of vehicles. How long have you been on the queue?
Last 2 hours.
The main point is for them to come together and resolve the issue so that we poor masses will be able to survive.
Stakeholders have intensified call on government and organized labor to dialogue for amicable resolution.
Now, President Muhammadu Buhari is in Paris, the French capital, ahead of the African Finance Summit. The summit, to be hosted by President Emmanuel Macron, will focus on Africa's economic situation following shocks from coronavirus pandemic, as well as getting relief from increased debt burden. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports.
It is his first official visit to Europe since the outbreak of the coronavirus pandemic in February last year. President Buhari is expected to join other heads of state and government at the African Finance Summit on Tuesday to collectively discuss external funding and debt relief for Africa, as well as private sector reforms.
This is about seeking to generate money for the revival of African economies following the major hit they have received from the coronavirus epidemic. The continent has been plunged into an economic recession, the first of its type in the last 25 years. So President Macron is doing something that is very remarkable and important for our continent. This conference is supposed to seek money that will be used to restart the cycle of development on the continent. This is why we're here.
President Muhammadu Buhari is scheduled to hold high-level talks with his French counterpart, Emmanuel Macron. The two leaders are expected to discuss growing security threats in the Sahel and the Lake Chad region and other areas critical to the economies of both countries.
France is the metropolitan headquarters of French-speaking world. very influential in the affairs of the continent. And so therefore, President Muhammadu Buhari is right, very correct in seeking partnership with President Macron, so that together with our African brothers, we can seek to find permanent solutions, to the problems not only around Lake Chad, but in the entire Sahel and Sub-Saharan West Africa, which is racked by this crisis of terrorism.
During the visit, President Muhammadu Buhari will receive key players in critical economic sectors, as well as heads of other European institutions.
The Executive Director of Nigerian Export Promotion Council, Segun Awolowo, has called on relevant government agencies such as the Ministries of Agriculture, Commerce and Industry, Women and Youth Development, Technology and Incubation Center, and others to assist the small and medium enterprises accordingly in a bid to excel. Awolowo, who gave the advice at the capacity building program for SMEs held in Owerri at the weekend, said the NEPC will continue to assist the SMEs through her product development efforts in line with its mandate. According to him, it is my expectation that the SMEs, exporters and potential exporters will avail themselves of these opportunities to be mainstreamed into high-quality cultures in production and processing. Participants are also advised to visit NEPC website for further information. Now, on the conversation, we will be taking a look at the Nigerian women entrepreneurs and the opportunities available at the African Continental Free Trade Agreement. And I have joining me virtually Blessing Irabo, President, Organization of Women in International Trade. You're welcome to Business Express.
It's so good to be joining you virtually today.
Okay.
On Business Express.
Okay. A World Bank report 2019 puts the contribution of women to Nigeria's labor force at 45.5% and account for 41% ownership of micro businesses in Nigeria, with more than 23 million female entrepreneurs operating within this segment. Now, have these numbers been affected by the pandemic?
Definitely, these numbers were affected by the pandemic. As you actually know, the Nigerian women play a huge role when it comes to the SME. But during the pandemic, over 87% of these women were affected because we're not online. It played a huge impact in our businesses. And thank God for organizations that are trying to find a way to make sure that women is embracing the digital skill and putting their products online. But as I speak, from the ICT research last year, it shows that for every 4 business women, 3 is going to shut down due to the pandemic.
Okay, I don't know whether there's any efforts being put in place, both public and private, to survive the effects of the pandemic.
Yes, efforts have been put in place. Like, if you notice, the Nigerian government has rolled out various initiatives to cope to cushion the COVID-19 for small businesses, and women has been targeted in some of these programs that have been rolled out. And then for us on the private sector, we're working around the clock to see that our women are embracing digital skill and they're putting their products out online. In case we have any of this in the future, women can easily stand on their feet.
Okay, how prepared is the Nigerian woman to take advantage of the opportunities in the AFCFTA?
That's a good one. There is low information about the AFTA amongst the women entrepreneurs in Nigeria. But that is not to say that women are not prepared to take up the opportunities that are being presented in AFTA. As you are aware, we have a lot of women engaging in the informal cross-border trade, which you have more than 60% of women plying that route. And with the AFTA, you wouldn't be having anything like the informal sector anymore. So for what AFTA will do for us as women, it will remove barriers and enable the free flow of trade of goods and services. It will harmonize trade regulation and create uniform standard for our product. It also will provide potential to lift 98 million Africans out of extreme and moderate poverty. So you will see that AFTA is something that every woman needs to embrace, and we are all working with the government to create sensitization about AFTA and its benefits to the woman-owned businesses.
Now, in specific terms, what programs are being put in place to ensure maximum utility of these opportunities?
Okay, for us as an organization, we've been holding our webinars on AFTA so that the women could understand what AFTA is all about in the first place and what AFTA will do to their businesses, how it will benefit them. And from the government angle, you will notice that the NEC has been holding to physical sensitization workshops to sensitize people about the AFTA and how gender is being mainstreamed into the AFTA. If you recall, we were with the minister 2 weeks ago to look at how the federal government too is going to support women association to drive after sensitization down to the grassroots so that women will understand it and put their product in order so that we will meet the different criteria that will be rolled out very soon by the government regards to AFTA.
Now, tell us about the OWIT. OWIT, tell us about it.
Organization of Women in International Trade has been long in existence. It was founded in 1989, far away in Washington, D.C., but Nigerian chapter was founded in 2018. We were voted in actually October 26th in Nairobi, making us the third African country to be part of the global body of the Organization of Women in International Trade. And basically, the Organization of Women in International Trade is providing platform for women going into international businesses and services. And we do this by just three thematic areas: access to market, as product development, market intelligence, and helping the women understand the basic trade protocols and agreements so that they can easily navigate the international space.
Now, there is the She Trade Initiative. How far so far?
Yeah, the She Trade Initiative is an initiative of the International Trade Center, which was actually initiated to support women-owned businesses in Nigeria and other parts of Africa, where you have Kenya, Ghana, has been part of the She Trade Commonwealth Project. Although the She Trade Commonwealth Project has just ended in Nigeria, but they actually supported women in trying to build their capacity, which OWIT members were part of it and were benefited. And you have some online tool resources where you could attend some courses for free and also know how to use the market tool resources that are available for you to look for buyers and engage possible buyers and network too. So the She Trade Initiative has been awesome, although it has its own challenges, but the advantages were more.
Okay, in business, especially in this part of the world, there is need for continuous value addition to meet international exportable standard. What efforts are being put in place to achieve that?
Yeah, effort has been put in place by both the private sector and the government. I listened to you when you started about the Export Promotion Council trying to create awareness, holding different capacity workshops to sensitize exporters of the international required standards. And that is what we in OWIT we're doing. We're trying to help women understand the international standard requirement, because nobody buys product for you because you're a woman, except your product is meeting the international standard requirements that is being required globally. That's the only way you can sell at the international market. And Nigerian is trying to do all their best through their different agencies to make sure that exporters are looking into this international standard and are working to see how they can improve their products to meet these requirements.
Okay. Where is the place of that rural woman who processes sesame seeds, shea butter, and the rest of the village in this whole process?
There is, like I will always say, that there is a place for everyone in anything we do. Without the rural woman, you don't have any product for exports for us as women in exports. So in OWIT, our third level are the women at the rural level, which are the women in agriculture. We help them to build their capacity, helping them to make sure that they are following the best agricultural practice by knowing where the exact time when you need to plant, when you need to apply your herbicides and your fertilizer, but you must adhere to the best practices of agriculture in order for us to have this product at its best, so that we can have products that are exportable.
Okay, thank you very much, Blessing Irabo, President Organization of Women in International Trade.
Thank you so much. It's an honor being part of this show today. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Now, moving on. Business Express returns after the break.
Nursal Microfinance Bank wishes to inform the general public not to give money to anybody disguising as its staff or agent to secure the COVID-19 Targeted Credit Facility or AGS MEIS loan. However, a training fee is charged by Accredited Entrepreneurship Development Training Institute, EDIs, for the training and business plan for the AGS MEIS loan. Whenever you are in doubt, please call us at 0901-002-6905. If anyone has collected money to help you get the loan, please lodge a complaint on our whistleblowing portal by sending us an email on whistleblower@nmfb.com.ng. Nursal Microfinance Bank also wishes to inform the general public that the COVID-19 Targeted Credit Facility disbursed by our bank is a loan and beneficiaries must pay back with interest. The COVID-19 Targeted Credit Facility should not be misconstrued as a grant from the government. Call 094-621-730 or visit www.nmfb.com.ng for more information.
Well, thanks for being there. The financial services industry dominated in terms of volume at the end of last week's transactions on the floor of the Nigerian exchange. Moplanda Kok has more on the market in the week ended.
Last week was a brief one for the stock market as the federal government declared Wednesday and Thursday as public holidays to mark the Eid al-Fitr celebrations. The NSE All Share Index appreciated by 0.72% to close the week at 39,481.89, with market capitalization at 20.579 trillion naira. A total turnover of 840.3 million shares worth 9.5 billion naira in 13,239 deals were traded last week by investors on the floor of the exchange. All indices finished higher with the exception of the NSE Sovereign Bond Index, which depreciated by 10.69%, while the NSE ASEM and NSE Growth Indices closed flat. The financial services industry led the activity chart. The ICT industry followed, while the third place was occupied by the conglomerates industry. Trading in the top three equities, Access Bank, Zenith Bank, and eTransact International accounted for 284.9 million shares worth 3.4 billion naira in 2,533 deals. A total of 14,477 units of exchange-traded products, ETPs, valued at 258,795 were traded in the week in 4 deals, as well as 151,345 units of federal government bonds valued at 157.9 million naira. 33 equities appreciated in price in the week. 19 equities depreciated, while 108 equities remained unchanged.
Now, oil prices held firm on Monday, traded in a tight range as European economic reopening offset gloom from surge in COVID-19 cases in Asia, fresh restrictions and underwhelming Chinese manufacturing data. Brent crude rose 3 cents to $68.74 a barrel, and West Texas Intermediate U.S. crude was up by 4 cents at $65 $65.41. Both contracts have risen more than 30% since the start of the year. Oil prices near the top of recent trading ranges, and the cyber attack on the Colonial Field pipeline looks set to cut crude processing and diesel output. A look at the prices of oil and other commodities on the global market next. Now let's see how the Naira is exchanging with other currencies. European markets retreat to start the new trading week. Inflation, COVID-19 in focus. Bosede Abel has more.
Hello, this is Global Markets Review. Now, all hands on deck for global investors as the third wave of COVID-19 pandemic continues to ravage on sentiment. European stocks were mixed in early Monday's trading as global investors weighed concerns over a rise in inflation and an increase in coronavirus cases, largely attributed to the spread of a variant that emerged in India. DAX appreciated 0.03%, FTSE depreciated 0.38%, and CAC 40 also dropped 0.14%. Shares in Asia were mixed as investors reacted to the release of Chinese economic data while also monitoring the COVID situation in places such as Taiwan, which has seen a recent spike in domestic infections. Mainland Chinese stocks were higher on the day, with the Shanghai Composite appreciating 0.78% to close 3,517.62. Hang Seng Index topped 0.59% to 28,194.09, while the Nikkei dropped 0.92%. Stock futures in the United States slipped slightly in early trade Monday following last week's sell-off triggered by inflation jitters. Futures on the Dow Jones Industrial Average at a loss of about 71 points. Both S&P 500 and Nasdaq 100 futures traded marginally lower. And for Africa's stocks, most markets have resumed trade after closure for the Eid Fitr celebration. Early trade saw the market in mixed territory, with South Africa's JSE Africa Top 40 and Tunisia's Tunidex posting gains, while Ghana's GSE Composite is yet to have a new post. That's the market review segment on the global scene. I am Bosede Abel.
This is where we end this edition of Business Express. We value your feedback, so keep the comments, observations, and suggestions coming. Be informed that all previous episodes are available on YouTube on the NTA's channel. You can also communicate with us on Twitter, and the handle is NTA News Now, and the hashtag is BizX. Business Express returns Tuesday by 9:30 a.m. I am Musa Abubakar saying stay safe.